know, all of my shows that I do every weekend, all year, there is nothing like the Camp Diva story. So joining me right now is the founder of Camp Diva, Angela Patton. How you doing?
Greetings.
So you're just invading the radio to talk about this date with Dad that's coming up in March.
Yes, one of my favorite activities to do in Camp Diva, basically because it was actually founded by the girls in Camp Diva who wanted to be with their fathers on their own terms. So I'm just here today to celebrate the fact that this Date with Dad dance has now turned into a Date with Dad weekend. And
wow.
We are excited.
Then it's going to be a Date with Dad month.
Yes, I love it.
National recognition, you know, I'm speaking that into existence because we understand, both of us growing up with our dads, how important it is, how influential our dads are. Even if the sky has turned red and he said it's blue, I'm going to believe it's blue because it's my dad. That's how important a dad is to our lives, right?
Exactly, exactly. And that is what leads into those healthy relationships for our girls who are growing into women who will look at the next man in her life. That mirror reflect is that my dad?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Always. And what is Camp Diva?
Well, Camp Diva is a nonprofit organization, and we provide services and programs for girls of African descent. And our mission is to really prepare girls for their passage into womanhood. And we believe that we have a new approach into building a woman, one girl at a time.
Wow, I like that. Y'all like that?
Yeah.
So let's introduce our gang here, our Camp Diva gang.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, again, it's a weekend. So we had to actually expand the game. And we're going to start out with our Friday night at the YMCA downtown with an event called Active Dads. And this is just a way to get fathers involved in the overall well-being of his daughter's health, wellness, nutrition, because we have read that research says that when fathers are active with their daughters or live in their home with their daughters, that childhood obesity actually goes down. So we wanted to give fathers a way to actually interact with their daughters and go around to different stations and just play with them. Twister games, Zumba, yoga, the list goes on, even how to prepare a healthy snack with your daughter. But we knew that we wanted it to be fun, so we went back old school where we started with the Day with Dad dance. The wonderful comedian in Richmond, Antoine Scott, will be emceeing and hosting. Yeah, he's national man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't get the props. And then I also have with me one of our fathers who actually was incarcerated and was in a camp, he says, and I like that. He said, I was in a camp getting some things together, but what is special is that he's no longer in that camp.
Wow.
Right? And so we have a program called Dance of Their Own, and that was also created by girls in Camp Diva who felt that I want to attend the dance, but unfortunately I cannot because my father is unavailable. He's not unavailable in my life. He's just unavailable to come to this event. So my girls wanted to find a creative way to make girls be able to have that same experience.
Beautiful.
And so fortunately we have our Sheriff Woody here with us. Who will tell you why he said yes. Because it was a request from girls in Camp Diva.
All right.
But only the sheriff could tell us yes. So we wanted to bring him here to explain.
Does that sheriff ever say no?
I know, I know. And most people like, where they do that at? That's exactly what somebody asked me. And so we actually have a father here who attended the dance with his daughter to share their experience so that we can hopefully change your mindset about why it's important to continue those healthy relationships. Because I often say, because a father is locked in does not mean he should be locked out of his daughter's life.
Very good answer.
Okay? So we're going to explain why that's happening today. And then every year we celebrate about 5 fathers in our community, and we call it Real Dads. And fortunately last year we're just grateful that Sister Chloe allowed, you know, Tom Joyner to come and do a video. That's it, you are. And he just actually said Tom Joyner's going to recognize these fathers and celebrate all the fathers in the room. And so we have a sister today here who actually wrote a beautiful letter, nominated her father, shared with us in Camp Diva why he was important in her life and what he has done for her. And we also have her dad here to just share his experience of being one of our real fathers, so that the new real fathers this year can understand what that experience may be for them, and also try to continue to allow girls to think about not only when you have an opportunity like this to recognize your dad, just do it on any day. Don't wait for Father's Day, birthday, Valentine's Day. Just do it because. And so hopefully you'll be inspired after you hear their story as well.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm always great when I'm surrounded by our young people that is trying to be about education, trying to be about family, trying to work and resolve problems instead of returning to violence. And so it is very important that the family is the key. And when Miss Patton came to me about this great community situation and the great work that she's doing, I commend her.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Yes, I said yes to letting the fathers come into Richmond City Jail to interact with their family, and particularly the young ladies. It has been proven that young females that have a very good relationship with their fathers are able to handle those that try to abuse, falsely accuse, and try to use them. Even though fathers love their sons and they love their families, but the girls are special. And once they have their father out of their life, they are subject to turn to males that don't really have the ability, or they have the ability, but they'll play so many games on them. So it is very important. You can stay connected to your family, whether you are in jail, out of jail, or anywhere. It is very important. You show your love, you love your family regardless, and it is so important to be connected. Not just because it cuts down on violence, but showing your love and being able to communicate is very, very important. And most fathers and those that have daughters that get involved with them at any age, particularly at an early age, and can relate and can communicate with them. If they're in jail, they don't usually come back because they know how important that connection is. The young girls themselves is learning two lessons. I can still talk to my father. I can still relate to him. I can communicate with him. I can disagree with him. I've learned conflict resolution. And then on the other side of it, the father is telling them, look, I made a mistake. I am here. I don't want you here unless you come here to see me. And then the young female herself is saying, this is a place that I don't want to be, and the only reason why I'm here is because I love my father. And we are going to connect. We are going to make it. And I still can be somebody. And because when I'm loved by my father, I can solve so many other problems that makes me feel good about myself. I might not like it because you're here, but I love you anyhow. And then the father can do the same thing. You know, mothers are strong and they are very wise and they have so much knowledge, and it's nothing like a mother's love. But it's also nothing like a father's love when they can relate to their daughter, because they are the ones that being abused, used out here on the street and everything else. So I welcome it. I welcome everybody that's here. You all are doing a tremendous job, and I will continue as long as I'm sure to let each and every one of you all inside of Richmond City Jail to work with your family and show the love and make that connection, because everybody gets out at one time or another, and that aftercare is important. And the fathers can realize what I didn't do, I will do when I get out there. And the daughters realize that, hey, he loves me wherever he is, and hey, we can make it together because our family is so, so very important.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Richmond Sheriff.
Thank you.
Date with Dad weekend is coming up Friday, March 15th through Sunday, March 17th. We're going to take another break and come on back. We have more good news. Get ready for Date with Dad Dance, his beautiful daughters. We're going to take a break and come on back. This is Community Conversations. This is Community Conversations. I am Miss Community Clovia. Thank you so much for joining us today. Wake up and write it down. The 2013 Date with Dad weekend is starting on Friday, March 15th, and will end on Sunday, March 17th. And joining me on the show, I always go to the source for you. She's the founder of Camp Diva, actually putting on this great weekend, is Angela Patton. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Wonderful. Well, I just wanted to say quickly that I am really speechless about Sheriff Woody and what he just shared and why he has allowed Camp Diva to come in, hopefully annually.
And he had tears in his eyes.
Yes, and I did too.
You'll be able to see it on the video.
Exactly. And so I actually am really excited and honored and appreciative of a family who was going to share with you today their experience in the program that we created called A Dance of Their Own. And that was actually titled by girls in my camp because they felt like it was a special moment. And what's really exciting for me is that this particular father, Mr. Miller, actually was in a camp. That's what he says. And
he was in camp at Richmond City Jail.
Right. And called me and said, I want my daughter to be in Camp Diva. So what was special to me after that experience is that he continued to parent from the inside. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And our partnership with the Richmond Fatherhood Initiative made it possible for his daughter,
Shouts out to Lamar Bowers.
That's right.
Yay.
And Brian Gullins, our partners in crime. Made it possible for her to be able to receive a full scholarship. And we are still connected to this family. And then this family is here to share with you why it is important and what it has done for them. So I introduced Mr. Miller and his wonderful diva daughter, Janasia.
Yay! Come on, Dad and daughter.
Hello. How y'all doing today?
Hey, get close to your mic. We want to hear it all.
I'm Robert, and this is
Janasia.
All right, get close to your mic, y'all.
And we'd like to thank Miss Patton, first of all, and also the Sheriff Woody for the opportunity that he gave for my daughter to come into the camp. Turn that negative
That's right.
situation into something positive. So she was in Camp Diva, I was in Camp Woody, I guess. So.
CT, I like that. Go ahead.
So I just like that opportunity that we had, and also it gave me a situation, a moment to share with her the bond that we have to still grow, even though we're not together physically. Emotionally and mentally, I'm still there for her, and I want her to know that too. And I think the opportunity with Angela Patton to make that happen. And even on the outside, I still try to do as much as I can with her. I try to teach her what handball is last week.
Good, so that's a physical activity. You're not going to be fat ever, or you got daddy.
So that's one thing. I'm just grateful for that, and also, as well as this opportunity here, and to also for the dance, to show her what a man should do and how they should dress, and appreciate her and teach her and show her the ways. Like I tried to open the door for Miss Patton outside today, and
She probably wouldn't let you.
But I'm just grateful to be here and thankful for the situation.
All right, Donna, it's your time to speak. All right, so how was it? You did Date with Dad last year.
Yes.
At Woody's camp.
Yes.
Were you excited about it? You saw your daddy, you were dressed up, and
Yes.
what happened?
It was a fun experience. We had all danced and wobble came on, and I taught them how to wobble. Not everybody did. He did a poem on stage, and that was funny because that was unexpected. But everything was nice, and I'm glad that they did it.
And you're glad to connect with your dad because you're going to head out to the Date with Dad dance that's coming up on March 17th at the downtown Richmond Marriott. So you're away from Camp Woody. You'll be hanging out at the Richmond Marriott. It's going to be elegant. So you excited?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your story.
Thank you.
All right, Angela, come on back over here.
And so, again, this experience is like no other. Because a lot of people say, you're doing a father-daughter dance. Everybody does that. I remember, Chloe, that I went to a father-daughter dance in Girl Scouts with my father. I also went with him to one with the cotillion ball or something. I kind of don't remember exactly what it was. But I said to myself, what is so different and why do people really want to celebrate what we're doing? And I realized that it's not just because we took it inside the city jail. It's because we see a common thread. At our Date with Dad dinner and dance, we have fathers that are CEOs. We have fathers that are in between jobs. We have fathers in fraternities. We have fathers that work, you know, in construction. And we actually have seen a common thread. Because at the end of the day, they're not secluded because they were in a Girl Scout program or some organization did it specifically for that group. They all come together, and at the end of the day, no matter what their social economic status, whatever it may be, they're there for the commonality of their daughters. And the bonding that the fathers have is so amazing, and I'm seeing it for myself. So Camp Diva wanted to actually say, we don't want you to just come to the dance and buy the tickets online. We want to make sure you're there because we are giving you the opportunity to come to the Marriott outside of Camp Woody and experience this.
Yay! Congratulations, Mr. Miller and your daughter.
And so we're really excited about you all coming.
You know what? I want to point out last year when the dads and the daughters walked on the red carpet last year. I think the youngest daughter there was she was almost 1 year old. Remember the little girl?
Yes.
She was
oh my gosh, she was gorgeous. I mean, and he whipped out that bottle and gave it to her and put it back. I mean, and she was so into it. She was so giddy. She was excited. She was with her dad, and then one dad had, you know, rolled up in a limousine with his daughter.
Yes.
And I mean, you have to see this to witness this. This is the greatest thing that could ever happen in your daughter's lives. And I think also in the father's lives as well, to be a part of this, because it's more than just a date with dad dance. Well, I take my daughter out every other weekend and we do this, but try something different where she's looking gorgeous, absolutely like a princess.
Yes.
And you know, the older daughters, they want to look like queens.
Exactly.
And, you know, come on out and just be a part of this and all of the love that's in the room. And ladies, you know, if some of the guys are single, you want to encourage them to come because all of the men are at the I mean, and they look good, clean shaven, and they look like they got a few dollars. But one thing's for sure, they love them churn.
That's right, and that's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah,
right.
And that's what you want. So log onto the website and just look at some beautiful pictures of Camp Diva, campdiva.org. That's campdiva.org.
But what's so exciting about Reggie, and the reason we did have 4 other fathers that were selected and celebrated, but what I really have admired about him is that his ongoing support of this Date with Dad dance. And it's ongoing because he is out there advocating, like, you gotta go, you better take your daughter, come on, we're gonna get a table. He's on, I always see him on Facebook, he's speaking about it, just making sure that he spreads the message, and it really comes from father to father. So we really wanted to bring him and his daughter up and speak about their experience.
All right, get close to your mic.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't miss you.
How y'all doing?
Hey, how are you?
How you doing, Clovia?
I'm doing good.
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, I really appreciate this, you know, this opportunity. Like, it was actually one of my friends, a friend from a long time ago that actually works with Angela, with one of the programs that she do inside the schools. I think. I can't think of what the name of
Girls
it.
Change, Girls
One of
Change.
them, Girls for Change, one of them programs or whatever. But she knows how much I love my daughter, and she knows how involved I am in her life. And so she sent me a message last year. She was like, "Look, you need to go to this dance." I knew nothing about Camp Diva or anything like that. And you know, I went online. I seen that it was a essay on, you know, like they had, you know, a request to send essays in, and I showed my daughter the website, and she wrote an essay. And I mean, I didn't know if she was gonna get selected or not, and you know, she did, and it was an amazing experience to not, because I was going to pay for the tickets regardless. So, you know, it was a blessing.
Dad with money and don't mind paying.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing that you know, we got the tickets, and you know, a lot of other different prizes too, you know, came along with it. Learn how to do the salsa dancing, And
that was cute.
She got her hair, nails done, everything, you know, the whole 9 yards. So it was. They really made you feel special, you know. So I mean, Angela says that I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had surgery yesterday, and I told the anesthesiologist, you know, he said something about his daughter, because my daughter was there with me, and he said something about his daughter. I was like, oh, you have a daughter? So then I told him about the dance, gave him the website and everything.
What is your name?
Takaya.
Get close to your mic. How does it make you feel to know that this one man says, I love my daughter? How does it make you feel?
It blows my world.
Because you have some friends who go to your school or in your community, they don't see their dads.
Yeah. And that's like, that makes me feel special, and I'm grateful for having him.
And he's the only one can love you until you're 18 years old. You gotta act like you know. Yeah, the 2013 Date with Dad weekend is coming up, starting on Friday, March 15th, and then the Date with Dad dance that's going to be at the Richmond Marriott, downtown Richmond. For more information, you can try to log onto the website and purchase your tickets there at campdiva.org. We're going to take another break and come on back. We got some good stuff.